Hi, this is Andy from golffitnessandtrainingtips.com, and today's video is going to focus on some basic shoulder strengthening exercises to add to your training routine. The first two exercises we're going to talk about are the push-up and the lat pull-down. The push-up should be very self-explanatory. You can do this in a couple different variations. Standard width grip, wide grip. You could use an exercise bench and perform a decline press as well. You could also use cable call machines or a chest fly machine, all just trying to strengthen out your pectoralis muscle. Very important for the golf swing because that muscle is a very important power producer. Moving on to the lat pull, most people will perform this at a gym with a lat pull machine. I recommend when you do the machine, you have a large bar in front of you, pull towards your chest as opposed to behind your back, which you'll see some people do. Reason is just injury prevention. This is typically a bad position for your shoulders to be in when you pull that bar down. So with the bars up in this position, you just pull towards your chest. But again, it's a very good muscle to help produce force for your golf swing. Going more specifically now, we're going to talk about rotator cuff. And to do this, I have a band here. You could use a band, you could use a cable call machine. I'll show you a free weight version here in a second. But these are called internal and external rotation. I would do these on both sides. First, we'll start with external rotation. This is going to be of my right arm. You would stand with your resistance going in that direction, and all you would do is keep your elbow at your side at about a 90-degree angle and pivot out and come back in. One other tip that you can do is research will show that if you put a small towel roll or a little bolster in between your arm and your body, this actually will recruit more of your rotator cuff. So that is a tip if you can find something around the gym to add. Internal rotation, I'm just going to show you with my left arm, since I'm facing the camera, is just the opposite. You would stand here and start away from your body and rotate in this way. This actually should be easier than external rotation just because this will recruit your pec muscle as well as a few other muscles which are much stronger than the muscles that turn out. Now also, for external rotation, you can use a free weight and get a very similar workout. You would just need either to use the ground or an exercise bench. I'm just going to use the ground, but to work your right shoulder, you would lay on your side, and you would essentially assume the same position you would with the band, elbow here. Again, you could put a towel roll underneath your arm if you wanted to, but you would turn your arm this way. This way tends to work your shoulder a little bit more, even with less resistance, simply because gravity is in play, whereas when you're standing using the band or a cable call machine, gravity is significantly lessened. Moving on to another great exercise, which I use very often, is what we call scaption. It's taking two light weights, and you're going to hold them at your side, almost in the thumbs up position. And what you're going to do is you're going to elevate to about shoulder level or eye level in what I call more of a V pattern. So you're not straight on, nor are you out here. You're actually about 30 degrees out from a horizontal position. And you come down. It's a great exercise for rotator cuff and general shoulder strengthening. You can do a set number of reps doing both arms at once. What I also have people do is maybe do 10 both arms at the same time, and then hold one up, and then do maybe 10 of one arm individual, and then when you're done with that, hold your right one up and perform on the left. You will get much more of a burn with that version of the exercise, but it is very, very good. Next, we want to move on to a series of 4 motions. I use these a lot in the physical therapy clinic. They're called PNF patterns. There's basically just a combination movement where you're using multiple different muscles to perform a combination motion. We're going to start with the first one, is where you would start with your right hand, essentially against your left hip, and you would move up and out to your side so that your palm is facing forward, and then you would come back down. You could do this individually with one arm. You also could do this with both arms. The next PNF pattern I want to show you is using either a cable call machine or a band from a lower position. I'll show you with my left arm, but you would start here with your palm facing backwards, and you actually would pull up in an uppercut type motion towards your right shoulder and then back down. The reason why I like to show you both of those is because they actually translate fairly well to the golf swing. If you remember, the first one was palm here coming up. If you're right-handed, that's a very similar motion to what your right hand will do during a golf swing. This one is coming across like this, which would be, again, a very similar motion to what your left hand does during a golf swing. I would work both directions with both arms, but they are a very good exercise to work on some of the smaller muscles in your shoulder. The last exercise I want to show you is for the mid-back and around your shoulder blade. It is a bent-over row, which you would use a large dumbbell for this. Just find an exercise bench, bend over, keep your back straight, and pull up and squeeze your shoulder blade together. You can do this version. A harder version would be with arms straight going this way. And you also could use an exercise machine, a row machine, where you'd use both arms and pull back at the same time. Key is just to squeeze your shoulder blades at the very end. That is it for this video on shoulder strengthening. If you need any more exercise ideas, please go to my website, www.golffitnessandtrainingtips.com. Thank you.